Hi, Stratman here from pitware.com. Last video was just discussing fractals, and now I'm going to show you how you can make use of these for your entries and try and get the best entry. So for a start, what we have been doing is we've been looking at a moving average. This is actually a trend line, but let's consider that this is our moving averages, and we've determined that we only want to be trading long. So what we do is we would normally be drawing some kind of trend line down across the tops here, and we'd probably enter on just the break of this point here. Now at the moment, on this particular break here, that possibly wasn't a good entry because price hasn't continued on in our favor. So what fractals are doing for us in this situation, and just bear with me because this is quite a subtle thing for you to kind of get to grips with, is that we've been making higher highs and higher lows at this point. Well, we didn't make any higher lows because this one didn't quite form a fractal, so that's where fractals kind of come undone a little bit. But clearly there was a higher low here, and this is a higher high here. But as soon as we know we're wanting to trade in this direction long, what we're really looking for is the fact that price is going to retrace back in towards our moving average, and we're looking for a break heading in the direction of where we want to trade. So what we do is we follow these fractals down. So we've confirmed that, and this is on the M1 time frame, we've confirmed that we're making lower lows and lower highs, so lower low, lower low. Well, it's not really a lower low there, but you get what I mean. There's a lower low here compared to that one. There's lower highs. So clearly at this point we are now moving backwards for a retracement. So what we're looking for is the moment that this turns into trend changing in our favor. So we have been using the trend line break as being that, but that's not always the best way to do it. What we really want to be doing is seeing that we've got a change in trend direction in terms of these waves that are occurring. So what I would be looking for here is that when price made its first lower low, which was down here, if I draw an arrow on that so you can see it, so this was the this was the previous low here, and before we'd been making an uptrend. Then as we came down, as soon as that was the previous low, as soon as that low got broken by something which was on this candle, that means that this trend here was now considered a downtrend. So this is the bit that some of you might find a little bit hard to understand what I'm talking about. So I need to kind of clarify that just a little bit more. So as price was coming up here, we just assume that this was an uptrend because we're making higher highs and let's say higher lows. So every time we make the next low, we put a fractal there. Now, if price breaks that fractal, goes below it, then we've considered to change trend. So that's what I'm saying here. And so conversely, as this is coming down now and making lower highs on its way down, as soon as it makes a higher high, and it hasn't yet, this has been the highest high so far. This one hasn't beaten that one yet, and this one hasn't beaten that one yet. So as far as I'm concerned, until that breaks the previous one, now this one here is the highest high previously, and now lowest high, and this is the lowest high. So as price keeps going down further and keeps making these little waves, we get lower highs and lower highs, but notice we're getting higher lows at the same time. But I'm still considering, because of this was the last kind of break, that we're still downtrend. So now as soon as this previous high gets broken there, then I would consider that one. So you notice how this one didn't get broken. This high hasn't been broken. So all the way down here, these highs have never been broken, the previous high. So this high didn't get broken by that one. This high did not break that one. This high did not break the previous. This high got to that one, but didn't break it. This one hasn't broken the previous. So now this is kind of like the line where if price breaks that, it's considered to have changed direction. So we're still getting a better opportunity here for an entrance. So see how this candle here is lower than this one, and these two are lower than this candle. That's what forms a fractal. So as soon as this candle forms, we've now got our next fractal. So now we're even getting a better entry, and so we're waiting until the fractal gets finally broken upwards, and then we're going to enter. Okay, so that's what these fractals will do for us. So now the unfortunate thing is that MetaTrader draws its fractals before this candle finishes. So as soon as this candle started, because the high is below this high, it's drawn a fractal. But if this high here exceeds that middle high, it's not a valid fractal, and MetaTrader will make that fractal disappear. And then we'll be back to this one up here being the previous high fractal. So what are we looking for? We're looking for a break of this fractal. Now let's just say that this is the valid previous fractal, and this candle here breaks this line. Then what I would be considering is that the trend has changed, and I'll put an arrow under there, and so therefore I would be getting into a trade on the break of that fractal. Now that this fractal formation has been confirmed, because this bar has finished, this now is the next one, and if this candle here breaks that line there, my pending order, which I'd be sitting right there. So let's just say we've got a pending order just sitting right above there, because that's the previous fractal. So in some cases that'll keep us. So now it's just broken that line, and we've entered our trade. So that means that we should be drawing an arrow at this point. Okay, so now we've entered the trade. We didn't enter it on this line just here, at just the break of the trend line. We waited for trend to be confirmed to have hesitated and changed direction. So there we go. I've changed over to the M15 time frame to look at some specific examples of how entries might be made. So this is one looking at this particular little trend line. Now if we get down to the M5 and we go and find that exact same place, find our little there it is there. Okay, so in this case, as price was retracing back towards our moving averages, remember that we're on the M5 now, so these moving averages are looking flat, but on the M15 is the one we're interested in. If we followed the fractals back, making, I'll take that out now, making higher lows and higher highs, and finally this, we're only interested in going short, but this is the fractal that is of interest just before we're going to trade, and it's because higher lows, higher highs, trend is considered up for this little portion, but as soon as price breaks that line there, which was our previous fractal low, that's our entry. So there's a case for entry there. We'll do another one as well. So a more complicated area here. Let's go down to M5. So out on M5, we've got higher lows, higher highs, coming all the way up, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. Finally, this is the point where we should be considering, if it breaks this, we're in. So it broke this, we're in. But it retraced back on us at this point, made a fractal, we could possibly be out. Then the next entry was, it's making higher lows, and then finally this point here was broken. And there's where we would be in again. So that gives you an idea of fractals.